Welcome again to our webinar, A New Look for Decipher, The Best Just Got Better. Today, we're going to explore Decipher's modernized design, easier navigation, and improved survey editor features. Just a few things about our Zoom webinar platform. We ask that you use the chat box for all technical difficulties with the platform, any audio problems. And then we also have a Q&A box that's specifically for all questions that are related to the content that Denise and Ryan are going to give us. And with us today are Denise D'Andrea, VP of Technical Sales, and Dan Ryan, our product manager here at FocusVision. And I'm going to take Dan and Denise off the camera just so that they can focus on their presentation.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Brianne. Hello, everybody. I'm Denise D'Andrea. Today, we're going to talk about the new look and the new feel and the new Decipher, The Best Just Got Better. As part of FocusVision's commitment to innovation and customer collaboration, we've updated the look and feel of all of our core offerings over the course of 2018. Decipher is the first, and we're excited to share some of these updates with you today. So what are we going to learn in today's webinar? Our updated UI includes a better navigation to improve your workflow without losing any of the functionality that you may already know and love. We've researched the best ways to increase productivity, and this is the first phase of our commitment to innovation to promote the easiest survey and reporting tool out there. We're going to learn three things today. First, I'll show you a modernized design for a better user experience. Then I'll show you easier navigation and workflow. And finally, we'll show you the improved survey editor features. But before we get started, let's take a look at Decipher for those of you who don't know what it's all about. Decipher is a versatile, flexible survey and reporting platform. We have all of the power of different types of research and projects. Did you know that Decipher can also be used for many applications besides just brand surveys? You don't need to be a professional researcher to use the platform. Whether it's ad tracking, customer satisfaction with perhaps voice of the consumer, employee satisfaction surveys, or even concept testing, whatever your business need is, we are able to help. Decipher provides an easy yet innovative survey and reporting solution. Insights teams from around the world have used Decipher to get to the heart of the customer experiences and drive their brands forward. We've developed a variety of tools to showcase different types of research and projects. And customer satisfaction is just one example of these. What I want to do is take you through that process here. When you're doing a customer satisfaction survey and you're interacting with customers, you're addressing their needs. It's essential and it's important to find out what their issues are. We want to get to the bottom of it. We want to develop an effective customer survey, customer satisfaction survey, and find out what their real issues are. So what we've done is we've created 4 steps for you to drive customer satisfaction surveys. 4 steps can easily all be accomplished in the Decipher platform. So the first, you want to ask the right questions. I want to ask things like overall satisfaction ratings, performance ratings, demographic questions, open-ended questions, and Decipher will enable you to do all of that in our tool. The second is KPI tracking for key performance indicators. When we gather this information from our data in our survey, we need to monitor it. We need to share it with key stakeholders. And when you're thinking about selecting a survey technology solution, it's helpful to look for one that has strong reporting capabilities, one with things like dashboards and scorecards. And Decipher has just that. Our dashboard tool will enable you to capture all of these key metrics in real time. And you'll be able to easily spot your trends, prioritize your changes, and decide what you need to do to improve that customer experience. The third, closing the loop. Once the consumers have provided you this feedback and you now need to act on it, we need to decide how we can contact them, and Decipher enables you to do that. We have an alert system. The alert system allows you to monitor this feedback, contact the customer directly via email, and learn about their complaints so you can easily close the loop. And this can all be done in the Decipher tool. And then finally, polishing the process. So as your patterns begin to emerge and you figure out what people like and dislike about your product or your service, you can find out how it's, the best way to serve your customers and what's necessary there. So I just wanted to quickly take you through that. That's just one of 3 examples in our Getting Started series, showing you how Decipher can help you gain these insights. Now, these guides are available on our website. We have one for ad effectiveness, for concept testing as well. So we can either direct you to the website so you can see them, or perhaps we can send it to you post-webinar. So those are the 3 guides available to you. But now, let's show you what went into the development for this new updated look and feel that we have, and give you a little bit of background before jumping right into the tool itself. So behind the scenes, there were over 33 developers, QA, and project management staff members involved in this project. Over 1,000 development items completed with a complete UI review by design experts. And this was all completed in under 3 months with over 990 man hours. So we're excited to show it to you, and I'm going to switch gears for a moment and bring you into the tool itself. The very first thing I'm going to start with is the Research Hub. And when you log in, this is the first thing you'll see. And all of the same functionality is still there, but what I want you to notice is a modernized design. We have a refreshed look, a contemporary layout, and it's really providing a better user experience and improved legibility. All of the same functionality is there. And for example, you can still see your key metrics like your qualification rates, your incidence rates, your dropouts. You can still click into any project and it'll immediately take you, upon clicking into a project, take you into the report itself. And you can also toggle back and forth on the right-hand side here, whether if you don't want to be in grid view and maybe you want to see your project in list view, or perhaps you want to toggle back and forth and go back to grid view there. So it's a very clean, modernized look for you. The next thing I'm going to do is actually go into my shopping experience demo survey. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Edit Survey and take you into the survey editor itself. And I want to show you some of the changes that we have made here. First and foremost, we've made significant enhancements to make it easier to navigate around. And what you'll notice is this toolbar, or we call it a header, is going to travel with you throughout the platform. So no matter where you are, if you're in the reporting section, you'll still be able to easily, quickly go back to the editor. If you're in the editor section, you can perhaps go to the theme builder section. So for example, if I click on the themes, this will take me to my theme builder. I can easily apply the theme and look and feel of my survey that I want. And then I can easily go back to the survey editor. And in a previous version, there were lots of different menus that they were sort of buried and you had to kind of search for these things. So we're trying to make it easier for you to be able to go back and forth. For project workflow, trying to make it easier there as well. Notice we're taking you through the process from building your project, testing it, whether you're running generated simulated data or whether you're running manual data, distributing it for launching, and finally running reports. So this project workflow is making it a little bit easier for you to get through your project design. Some of the other things, for those of you that are familiar with the platform already and seeing this new enhanced look, some of the menu items have changed. So you'll notice upload system files and such is now in the builder option. And in the distribute option, you'll notice field report and project summary have been moved here. So those are just for those of you who are already familiar with the platform, a couple of things to note. So a lot easier on the eyes, cleaner interface for you. But if we dive into the tool itself and I click on any question here, so we'll go ahead and click on perhaps the gender question. A couple of things that I wanted to point out to you that have changed. In the middle of the screen, when I look at this particular question, you'll notice the option menu is now a drop down on the right side of the screen. And the biggest thing here is I have the ability to change my question types to any one of the other question types in the library. So what you'll see here is a change question type. It'll immediately take you into the pan menu, and now I can change that. So remember, There's over 80 different question types. So I can easily toggle back and forth between possibly a button select and maybe a rating scale or something else, making it easier for you to design. And that's an update and a new feature here. We were able to do it in the old version, but you didn't have as many options. You can only toggle back and forth between a couple of question types, and here you have available to you all of the different question types to change to. You also have the ability to update your styling, and all of this is in the drop down here. So perhaps I want to, update my styling, duplicate my question. I can easily add the question or facets of the question to a library to retrieve later on, making building a lot easier, not having to reinvent the wheel or starting from scratch with my next project. And then, of course, you can delete questions out there. So a couple of things to see there. If you want to add questions in, the process is still the same. So I highlight the question and I can add, above it or below it. So I'm just simply going to click on Add Survey Element. Here are my menu options. Easily, all 80 question types are categorized here on the left. So what I'll do is easily pick a category, and then you'll see all the different question types, whether it's ranking, slider, star rating, and so on. So in this example, I'm going to add in a card rating question and click on Insert. One of the key takeaways here, and this was with the old platform as well, is all of the questions are pre-templated, making it a lot easier for you. You don't have to start from scratch. You can see your question text, your respondent instruction, and then if I scroll down, you can see your cards as well as your buttons. So generally, without doing anything in the platform, if I were to just click the preview button, you instantaneously are going to see how this question looks. So this is pretty neat because I haven't had to do anything other than insert the question. So now I can see my different card ratings and I can see the different attributes below, which really, in essence, this is an alternative to a grid type question, making it more engaging for your respondent, perhaps reducing your speeders and maybe even reducing your straight liners. What you'll notice up top here as well, I can see it amongst different devices. So desktop view, perhaps I want to see it in tablet view, or maybe I want to see it in a mobile view, like an iPhone or something of that sort. And what you'll also see is all your bells and whistles are included. So if you've included a logo or a theme or a background color or image, that will also appear here for you. If you want to create a question, and you say, well, you know what, I really don't want to use that default, text. I might say, how would you rate the following brands? You can easily cut and paste in. You do not have to cut and paste in manually for each individual card. So for example, if you had, brands 1 through 4, I can easily paste those in. And as soon as I click off, you'll see them parsed out. So quite easy to do without having to do it one by one. If I then take a response list, perhaps I want my buttons to be, excellent, good, fair, and poor. I could type them in, or I can also paste them in from a clipboard, and it will parse them out as well. So that's a key time saver for you, making it really easy to take this pre-templated question and design it as you wish. If I look at that preview button just one more time, we'll take a look, and now you'll see that I've completely designed my survey quite easily, and I don't have to be a researcher to do this. I don't even have to be a scripter. It's really mainly just point and click here to add those things in. The other thing that I wanted to mention is we also added in guardrails here to prevent you from making errors in your survey. So for example, if you have an if condition or a logic statement on a question that appears later on in the survey and you by accident or to drag that question up somewhere else where it's not supposed to be, you'll immediately get an error message. So in this example, I am basing this question off of females, from a female category. If I were to move that question above the gender question, I'm immediately going to get a warning message guarding me and saying, hey, wait a minute, that question's not supposed to be there. There's an if condition. What do you want to do? Do you want to continue with this? Is it okay that you've done that, or do you want to cancel? And watch what happens here. When I cancel this out, it immediately reverts back to where it was supposed to be. So these guardrails are in place there, helping you design your survey making it easier for you to go ahead and do that. So what I'd like to do now is switch over from the survey editor and move over to some of the reporting features. And as I mentioned before, with this easy navigation bar up top, I can easily toggle back and forth and get to the place in the platform that I want to. If you remember, the distribute menu field has the field report for you. So I'm going to quickly switch over to that field report. I actually have it open here and show you. As we alluded to before, the field report is basically going to have the same look, but it's a little cleaner and nicer. As I scroll down, I'll still be able to see, how many people have clicked through and key metrics. And this is all in real time, whether it's, my partial completes, terminates, incident rates, and so on. I can also take the report and easily split it. So perhaps I want to split it by mobile category because I'm running a survey with different mobile categories. It will repopulate, and you'll notice now I can see it by smartphone, feature phone, etc. And as I scroll through, I now not only have a total column, but I can also see the other mobile categories there in that field report. If I were to switch over from the field report and I would go to perhaps crosstabs, there's several things that you can do. You can either go right to the crosstabs tool and run your own, or perhaps you can go to your saved reports here. So very easily, you can easily share out your saved reports with stakeholders, share them internally, you name it there. So I'll show you both. I actually have a saved report open here, so I'm just going to open it up for you. And you'll notice the look and feel here is a little cleaner and nicer as well. Header is following me through the platform. I can do all the same functionality, whether it's a bar chart, a column chart, tables with multiple banners. My significance testing is applied. Everything that the tool already has in it is still in place. And I could do other charts like pie charts, column charts, area charts, and so on. So that functionality is there as well. When you run your crosstabs report, for example, so if I'm in the crosstabs tool itself, there is one new feature that was just released yesterday. So you may or may not know of it, but it's pretty neat. When I'm running my report, we all know that I can easily take this crosstab report in real time and I can export it out into Excel, PowerPoint, or PDF. So if I want to share, and I want to, share with my stakeholders and show them these key metrics, I can easily export out. And the commonly used one is PowerPoint. But the new feature that we've added is notice on each individual table, there is now an export button. So perhaps you want to just find that one key insight to your report and share it, or you want that one table to put in your presentation. Well, you can now do that. Under the export button, you'll notice you can export to Excel, PowerPoint, or PDF, and that would export just that one table for you. So you don't have to worry about creating a table set, creating a new report, only selecting the questions you want. You can export out one at a time for you there. So overall, in summary, let's just take a look here and look at a summary and then look upon what's next and what we have to offer you here. So let me just cancel out of that for you. Okay, so what's next in the tool? Okay, so we're working on, I guess I have a little glitch here with PowerPoint, so sorry about that. Hold on a moment. I'll just decrease my screen here. There we go. What's next in the platform? Decipher was the first round, and we plan on doing this for all of our products. We've done a lot of key research here to see how we can increase efficiencies, how we can increase productivity, and how we can help you really gain insights in your research. So with that, Brianne, I'm going to turn it over to you and Dan. I'd like to open the floor for questions that you guys may have about the new features and the new design, as well as some of those getting started guides that we shared with you. The one I mentioned was the customer satisfaction one, but any questions that you guys may have, I'd like to open that up. Brianne?
Excellent. Okay, so reminder, everyone, just please put all of your questions in the Q&A box. Okay, what's the most common use of Decipher? what type of research is involved?
So many different kinds of research here. And Zoe, if you want to chime in here as well, we can. You could do brand research. You could do customer satisfaction research, employment engagement surveys, product research, many different facets there.
What's next on the Decipher roadmap?
Okay, Dan, I'm going to send that one over to you.
Great, thanks. Yeah, it's a good question. So we have a lot coming in the Decipher roadmap, and to call it a few things that have recently released as well. So things like the CAPI app or offline surveys and hybrid surveys. Some of you may be aware of that. Cross-tab subnets, so further expanding the functionality within our reporting tools, as well as reporting or cross-tab table templates. So rather than having to customize tables each time you may run a survey or a question with the same sort of details, you can simply save that to your library and apply that each time in new surveys without having to recreate. What's kind of coming next in the Decipher roadmap? We've got what we're calling Project Delphi, which is really just a scaling up of Decipher and improving performance. Large, complex surveys are going to see large performance gains as well. We've got really cool features as well coming within crosstabs or reporting systems, such as automated sentiment and topic analysis. So really being able to dive into and better analyze that open-end data, which is really, really rich, right? Much larger initiatives that we're looking at in the longer future are survey guidance. So Decipher collects billions of data points across all the surveys that are run. And so what we can start to do better is provide guidance in terms of what question types and what styling and formats are going to yield the best response rates. So if you've got a simple basic grid question, we might be able to tell you, hey, if you format your question this way, you might see a 5, 10, or an improved response rate for that question. Ultimately, and overall, we're really continuing to drive and improve a pleasant survey building experience. Decipher has a lot of complex tools, and we can make them simpler for the lay researcher or even the non-researcher to jump in the platform and answer that research need that they have.
Okay, next question. Is there an editor for the dashboard, or is it still scripting only?
Okay, I can take that one and then pass it over to Dan for a roadmap, but right now it is scripting. Capabilities, they have gotten easier to use. I do believe it's on our roadmap to do something other than scripting. Dan, do you know the timeline for that?
Yeah, I can't really speak to the timeline for essentially a UI for our dashboard tool, but it is something that we are very aware of has been requested, and the dashboarding tool is very sophisticated, and so that is something that we're continuing to look into. Absolutely.
If the questionnaire is related to Randomized, can this software support for Randomized?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the things I didn't mention because I didn't want to go too deep, but you can randomize your questions. You can randomize your response options within your questions. You can create blocks of questions and randomize your blocks. So you can see the different levels here. So randomization can get quite granular as well. So perhaps you want to group items together, you want to anchor things at the bottom, or you want to randomize in a certain order. You can do that. We also have a command, it's called a shuffle by command, but just so you know, if you want to randomize in the same order, you can. So for example, if order is brand 2, brand 3, brand 1, and later on in the survey, you want it to be the same order, brand 2, brand 3, brand 1, the platform can do that as well.
So do you have additional options for the gender question?
So the gender question that you had seen on the screen prior to the demo, I added in, male, female logos to make it more engaging. So you can see that I generally use those in my demos, but of course you could have made it a button select question with just text for male and female. Those are the two that I use for the gender question, but you really have the ability and the flexibility in the platform to design it however you wish, with or without icons and images.
Okay, excellent. So we're kind of getting, yeah, people are starting to calm down a little bit. So we want to thank everyone for joining. Thank you to Denise and to Dan for joining us today. If you have any questions, please reach out to webinars@focusvision.com. Some of your questions we're going to answer offline. So if we didn't get to anything, don't worry, we will reach out to you. And please do join us again for our next journey into research. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.